What is up, everybody? I am Fabi Made Up. Today is all about the new Danessa Myricks Groundwork palette. Now this product is equal parts exciting and intriguing to me, and when you first open it up, it looks like a regular neutral eyeshadow palette. This palette is designed to be used all over the face. There are two very strategic textures for each of these shades. We have a velvet pomade, which is a larger pan, and then we have the Shape and Fix powder, which is infused with Upsolite. And we'll get into all of the details. You're probably full of questions. What exactly do I do with this palette? When do I use a pomade? When do I use a powder? Do I have to put the pomade underneath the powder? What tools do I use? Fingers? What kind of brush? Is it pigmented? Why is it a velvet texture? Is this made for makeup artists or for regular consumers? All of these questions and more will be answered in today's video. So while this video is a first impressions, it's an educated sort of first impressions because I've watched her demos, I've watched her lives on Instagram. I took note of the questions that were asked the most, and I also paid close attention to how she demoed the product. So for the demos in this video, I basically copied her demos. I took note of whether she used the pomade or the powder, in what order, what shades did she use? Was it to color correct, to shape, to define? Because even though I have not put any of these shades on my face, I just couldn't resist the urge to swatch some of them yesterday. I have not actually used it myself. So you guys, I can't wait to get my hands in this palette and put it to the test. Let's get started. Let me give you just a brief overview of the two textures first. And let's start with the powder. What makes this special is that it's infused with Upsolite. Upsolite absorbs oil throughout the day and it smooths texture. Okay, now let's look at the velvet pomade and the texture. If I press, you see how I'm leaving an indent here and here too. So it's soft. Does it pick up easily? Let's see. Oh, it feels that, man, it feels so velvety. I guess that's why it's called velvet pomade. Now, she mentioned that both the powder and the pomade are designed to be built up slowly, so you don't have to be intimidated by them. It feels incredibly soft. It feels like it transforms into a powder as soon as it touches the skin. Let's see about the powder. Yeah, the powder feels really fine and smooth. And it also looks like you definitely don't have to be scared of it. I'm going to use the powder as a base on my lids. If you have oily lids, this is going to be great to use a powder because, like I said, it's infused with Upsolite, which absorbs oil. And not only does it absorb oil, but it also smooths. So let's see how it looks on the lids. The powders are supposed to be very buildable, and they will also give you good coverage, is what Danessa said. And that is what I'm seeing. I think that the powder did create a nice base. Now I'm gonna do it on the other eye. Another thing to note is that all of these pigments are eye safe, so you don't have to be worried about getting them in your eyes. You can even do your waterline with them. Now we're going to continue with color correction. The model had some redness on her cheeks, and Danessa used the pomade in the shade Sandstone. It was a larger brush though. It was a brush that looked sort of like this one from Real Techniques. She grabbed the pomade and then she lightly put it over her areas of redness. I do have some redness here around the nose, so that's where I'm going to put it. And if you want more pigment payoff, use a brush with shorter bristles and more dense. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grab the pomade again. Even though I did get pigment payoff, but I wanna see the difference with this brush. I am really happy with how this has corrected the redness around my nose. Now I'm gonna apply foundation. I'm actually gonna use her Skin Tint, which I really like because it has nice coverage. And then for concealer, I'll use the Tower 28. Okay, so now we're gonna bronze. And she used the shade Core on her model. Let's see how it goes. You really don't have to be afraid of this formula. Like, I'm going in extremely lightly, because I'm not familiar with how pigmented this is. I'm like not getting much. I think I'm gonna grab an even denser brush. Okay, this might be too dense, the e.l.f. Putty brush. Okay, I think I like this brush better. Instead of the fluffier brush, I'm gonna try with my fingers now, see what happens. So now I'm going to grab the powder and I am going to intensify the velvet pomade with the powder. And that's with any product, right? Like any emollient texture, if you add powder on top, it's going to intensify it. And yes, that's what I'm seeing. As soon as I add a little bit of powder, I'm getting the pigment payoff. Now I'm seeing it. I'm seeing the pigment there. Okay. I think I'm getting the hang of this. It doesn't matter if you went into one or the other by mistake. Both of these textures are meant to work together really well. She said that they are really good friends. They get along really well, so it doesn't matter which one you put under or over. Now that said, I think I'm going to stick to putting in the pomade first and then the powder to intensify the pomade. I don't know yet. Still playing. Okay, now the same shade core that we're using to bronze, I am going to use to start to shape the eye. And I use the pomade only. Why? I don't know. I guess I could go in with the powder too. Now let's move on to contour. She was looking at using on her model stone or desert. I didn't write down which one, and I think she went in with stone. One thing for sure is that she started with the pomade. So I'm gonna grab the same Real Techniques brush I used for the bronzer. I'm wiping it off on my towel, and I'm gonna take the pomade. I'm struggling a little bit with the pomade. Oh, there it is, okay. I was gonna say I'm not seeing the pigment. But she did mention several times that these are designed to build slowly. And that if you want more impact, again, to use shorter bristled brush and dense bristles. So let's try this guy again. Okay, yeah. But I am going to go on with desert. This is looking a little bit too gray. Yeah, so I think it's a matter of alternating brushes, like try different brushes and see which one you like best. And I'm still using the shade Desert. I'm trying to contour slash bronze the forehead. So Desert and core maybe. You know what? I am going to switch to the powder now that we have put some pomade down. Desert. I'm gonna try some nose contouring. I'm taking this Pro Crease 27 brush from Sephora, and I'm gonna take the shade Chiseled. Actually, why didn't I go with this shade for contouring instead of, it seems like Chiseled would have been the best option. I just didn't see it. Okay, and I'm starting with the pomade. Fingers crossed. Yeah, okay, it's working. It's working! Okay, I'm getting excited. I'm getting a hang of this. After the nose, now let's move on to brows. Can't wait to do my brows with this one. I think that the shade I'm gonna use is also Chiseled. Okay, so for the brows, she used the pomade on its own. She didn't use a powder on top of it. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grab Chiseled on this. I'm using a Real Techniques brush, angled brush. Gonna grab a skinnier angled brush. This is a MAC 208S. And this gives you a nice soft look as if you had used an eyeshadow to fill in your brows. Clear brow gel. All right, let's move on to the eyes. I'm excited about this. I'm gonna go with the shade Bark. And it's blending beautifully. I'm gonna continue with Bark, but now the powder. I wanna see what happens if I put it over the pomade. When would you use the powder and when would you use the pomade? What I think of what Danessa said is that you can use either way, whenever, wherever you want. I'm gonna put some Mirage pomade on the lower lash line. She said this is made for anyone who's been born, basically. This is for everyone. It can be for makeup artists or for makeup enthusiasts or for just the people who like the no makeup look and that use very little makeup, that they could see this palette as their one and done palette. I'm thinking of friends who have a small makeup drawer. They're not makeup lovers like I am. They have maybe 6 products total. Would I recommend this palette to someone like that? And I want to say, so far, I think I would. Oh, by the way, this is looking really nice. The latte look with these colors, awesome. Even though I don't have oily skin, my mom does. I've given her a lot of primers to try, and her favorite one has been the balm powder from Danessa Myricks. She tells me that it does a fantastic job, like no other primer, like no other product that she has tried, in absorbing her oils throughout the day. So that's a big deal, that now all of these powders that you're putting all over your face have that oxalate ingredient that is going to help control your oil. Okay, now to add more definition to the eye, I'm gonna grab a pencil brush. This is an E30 from Sigma. And I'm going to use it to tightline. Let me see. I'm going to grab maybe Harvest this time around. And I am going to use it to tightline. Hold on. I don't think this brush is the correct one. I'm going back to my Real Techniques angled brush. So that was the pomade. Let me go on to... Let me switch to tourmaline, the powder. I'm gonna put the black powder on top of that pomade. I'm excited that you can use this as a liner because as someone who struggles with a liquid liner, this makes it easier, sort of like using an eyeshadow as liner. It gives you that smudgy effect. I wonder if this sets down to the point that it won't move. We will leave it alone and then try to smudge it and see what happens. I just saw that there's some more blending to do here. Now, I'm still not sure if they're setting down. I think that they remain blendable. Okay, now I'm gonna try putting it on the waterline, see how that goes. This is a E21 Sigma smudge brush. I'm gonna grab the the pomade in tourmaline. Oh, wow, yes. Oh, that is awesome. Look at that. I did not expect this level of pigment. Wow. And I actually picked the black color so that, thinking that maybe it wouldn't show up on camera, but nice. Let's tightline, tightline a little bit there. Ooh. I'm gonna put a little bit of sandstone, the pomade, here in the inner part of the eye to brighten things up. Now I'm gonna go in with the powder just cause we're playing around. And with the powder, I'm also going to put it here on my brow bone just to make the edges softer. Oh, yes, okay. I'm excited to do the lips now. So curious to see if this works on the lips. On her model, she used a pencil brush and went into the shade Mirage to start to sculpt her lips. Nice. So that was Mirage, and then she went in with a deeper shade, which I did not write down. I'm thinking maybe Desert, to just give her more of a pop under the lower lip, right at the center. Like that. So now that we have a soft sculpt around the lips, I'm gonna use it as a lip liner. What shade to use as a lip liner? Desert? Yeah, Desert question mark. I'm gonna grab the pomade. Maybe I need a deeper shade because I am struggling to see it. Harvest? It's not really showing up. I think I'm gonna go with Sculpted. Okay, that is showing up. I'm using the pomades. It doesn't feel like anything on the lips. Absolutely nothing. Okay, so at this point she said that now you've done the groundwork. You have the framework for every feature of your face. Now what's left is to fill in the blanks. So I'm gonna start with blush, some color on the lids, and something on the lips. For the cheeks, I'm going into, this is Rosé and Brunch. This is one of her blushes. Also infused with Oxalate, so it'll also help to balance the oils throughout the day. And then she used that same color of blush on the model's lips, and this is a Sigma F70 concealer brush. It also feels like nothing. Very comfortable. All right, now for the eyes, I'm taking her Color Fix. She has different finishes of Color Fix. This is the foil one. Look at that. It's called Jewels. So I'm using my Refer 21 brush. This has a green to pink to like gold shift. Look at that. Ooh. Desert, I just want something to put along the edges of this greenish color to kind of help it to marry it with the other shades. Take Mirage. Oof. Okay, now I want to see if Sculpted, if I can brighten down here. Can I use a pomade for that? Okay. Could I use it to highlight, let's say, my chin? Actually, for this, she used, and I have that exact same brush. She used this brush, the Sephora Pro Concealer 71. She went into the pomade. Nice, okay. So you can use that shade to brighten things up. So I imagine I can also put it here on the tip of my nose. Oh, I made a dent. This texture is fun. I gotta show you the texture. You see that? Oh, how hard can I press? Okay, I don't want to destroy it, but this is fun. Now that it's warmer, it moves around more. It's more malleable when it's warm, which makes sense. Fun. Look at that. Oh, and you know, I'm actually gonna put some of that sandstone powder here in the highlighted areas so I can get that Oxalate there around the T-zone. I'm excited about that. I'm gonna get some Oxalate goodness to keep me mattified. I'm using the Pat McGrath Mascara Dark Star. Before I give you my final thoughts, let's go over some FAQs. When to use powder and when to use a pomade? Answer is both textures are designed to be used seamlessly together. They both give you a soft buildable formula and you can go back and forth as many times as you want. No need to be scared by them. Which one should I use first? You can use either one first. Can the pomade be used by itself or does it have to be set with the powder? Yes, the pomade can be used everywhere, brow, cheeks, lips, anywhere because it can live alone. It's not a wet finish, which is why it works so beautifully as an eyeliner or lip liner or tight line with it. Who is this product made for? She made it for everybody. If you're a makeup artist, it's gonna be something super useful to have in your kit because you have a variety of shades to work with a variety of skin tones. If you're more the average consumer who likes a no makeup look or uses very little makeup, this is also made for you because it's multi-purpose. You can use it in different areas of the face. You can use it to color correct, define, shape, everything. This product is designed for everybody, not just makeup artists. Danessa envisioned that for someone going on vacation, let's say, this would be the one do-it-all face palette. One neat feature is that you can remove the pans if you are a makeup artist or just someone who has one of those magnetic cases where you can just put in the shades that you one to travel with, and therefore you don't have to carry the whole palette. Now for my final thoughts. I'm feeling a little conflicted about this palette. I honestly can't tell you if over time it's going to blow my mind and become a super useful all-in-one staple, or just something that ends up getting pushed to the back of my drawer. So I'm going to keep this palette right here on my desk, front and center. The plan is to really give it a go over the next couple of weeks. Really try out all the ways I can use it. Once I have some solid thoughts on whether this palette is a game changer or not, I'll give you an update in my first ever speed reviews video. If you're wondering what a speed review is, think quick fire first impressions on a bunch of products all in one video. I love watching speed reviews videos because they're fast, they're fun, and you get to hear about a bunch of products without having to sift through a ton of content. I'm gonna be uploading speed review videos consistently, so you'll get to hear my updated reviews and thoughts on products that I've been trying out over a long period of time. So make sure to subscribe and stick around for that. Now you guys have to tell me what you think. I am dying to know. Seriously, I'm super curious to hear how you guys are using this palette, if you picked it up, whether or not you're planning to pick it up. Tell me your thoughts. Let's chat in the comments. And if you stayed till the end of this video, if you're still watching, thank you so much. It means the world to me. I'm having so much fun doing this. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.